What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. The topic for today is how to initiate and lead a conversation with a woman. All right, and this is in the context of cold approach. So basically, you going out and seeing a woman, whether it's in the mall, the grocery store, the park, the beach, wherever, you see a woman you find attractive. She doesn't know who you are, but you're making the decision that you're going to approach her and talk to her because you find her attractive, right? So I'm going to talk about how to initiate and lead the conversation, because when you initiate the conversation, you have to lead it, right? Sometimes guys will, approach a girl and then say something and then expect her to lead the conversation. If you lead that up to her, what you're doing is you're putting her in a masculine role, which makes it very hard for her to go into her feminine, which makes it hard to create attraction. Because in order for you to create attraction, the masculine energy and the feminine energy have to interact. And so you have to hold that masculine energy, which is that leading energy, right? And you got to be grounded. But anyway, let's start with the first part, initiating the conversation. How do you start a conversation? So let's say you see a woman you find attractive in the grocery store. Now, my advice is literally to say what you feel like saying, okay? And hold your frame. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you see a woman you find attractive and you literally feel like saying, hey, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to say hi, right? Let's say that's what you feel like saying. That's exactly what you should say, okay? You approach her and you say, hey, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi. Now, the key to making something like that work is you have to be detached from the outcome, meaning you can't walk up to her with the energy of, I need her to say yes, or I hope this works, or I hope I get her number, or I hope she likes me. That energy is a taking energy. That means you want something, you need something, and that energy, you're carrying that into the interaction, and it's gonna repel her, right? Because you're demonstrating that you're lacking and you need something from her. And guess what? If she's she's gonna be judging you up against the other guys that she knows, she's gonna look at you like, okay, why would I want to get with a guy who needs something from me versus get with a guy who doesn't need something from me, who has value that I can receive, right? Like, I know this is kind of, maybe you never really looked at this, but this is what's going on. It's like when you approach her, what are you communicating? Are you communicating that I'm here to give value, right? Or are you communicating that I need something, I'm seeking something from you, and I need you to validate me, I need you to like me, I need you to give me your number so I can feel good about myself? She doesn't want that responsibility, right? You're supposed to complement each other. You're supposed to show up as the masculine energy that can lead her. You're supposed to show up as a dominant man that can bring some order and bring some groundedness to her life. Not a man that's insecure and needs her to feel loved and shit like that. So that's the first part, right? Say what you want to say, but think about the intention and the energy you're bringing to the interaction. You want to detach yourself from the outcome, meaning, yes, you find this girl attractive, but you are okay with her accepting your conversation. You're also okay with her rejecting it because you are detached from the outcome. You do not have her on a pedestal. You just think she's physically attractive, right? But now you're approaching her to see if there's more to than what you're seeing on the outside. Let's see if her personality is as great as how she looks, right? Let's see how her energy is. Let's see her perspective on life. Let's see her mindset. Let's see what state she's in, what kind of vibe she's carrying. So when you walk up to this woman, you actually want to have this mentality of, you're screening her, you're qualifying her to see if she's cool enough for you to talk to her longer, right? You're just going to start a conversation just to check and see, who is this person, right? She's physically attractive. She caught my attention. Let's see who is this beyond the looks, beyond the body, beyond the physical, the exterior. What's going on in the interior? Like, that's the mentality, right? So you start the conversation knowing that, okay, I find you attractive. Let's say you say that, oh, I think you're attractive. I want to come and say hi. Now, you pause. You say that and you pause and you pay attention to how she responds. Her response will tell you where you should go next, right? if she responds in a positive way, she's like, hey, how you doing? My name is so-and-so. What's your name? Now you're in conversation. You tell her your name and you start the conversation. You say, hey, yeah, you know, I was just doing my groceries and you distracted me with your beauty, or whatever you want to say, man. And you just enjoy the conversation and you let it flow, and whatever comes to you, you say it. Don't filter yourself. Like, don't try to be perfect. Don't try to say the perfect thing. Whatever you feel like saying, you could literally talk about your day. Like, I tell you, when I approach women, a lot of times I literally just talk about my day. So I'll go up to the woman, I'll say, hey, I thought you were attractive. I want to come and say hi. She says, hey, hey, nice to meet you. My name's so-and-so. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling powerful. I actually just came back from, like, let's say I'm at the grocery store. I'll talk about what I was doing before I got to the grocery store. Yeah, I just came back from the gym. Or yeah, I just came back from my friend's house. Or yeah, I was just reading a book. Or yeah, I start talking about my day. And because basically I'm screening to see, is this girl qualified to be a part of my life? So you start talking about your day. You talk about talk about your passion, talk about what you're creating, what you're building in your life, you know what I mean? And see how she responds to your life. You communicating your life. And if she's responding in a positive way, you keep the conversation going. If you like the vibes, you love the feeling, you invite her out. You say, you know, I actually really enjoyed talking to you. I'd love to continue this conversation sometime. Maybe we could grab smoothies or something sometime in the future, right? You say something like that, just something simple. But it's based off of how the interaction felt. If it felt good, if it was good vibes, you go for that. But if she's like giving one-word answers, or she's looking away, she's not really into it, she has a serious face or whatever, you just pay attention to her. It will tell you, right? That's why you got to be grounded and present to the moment, so you can see her body language will tell you everything, right? Like the way how you become charismatic and smooth and stuff like that is by paying attention to people's body language and how they're responding. So that's what's going to give you a clue on how to calibrate your communication, right? You don't want to necessarily be filtering yourself, but you do have to calibrate your communication. Like, for example, if I see, you know, clearly if I see a woman is with another guy, right, and I want to talk to her, I'm not going to go up to her and say, hey, I thought you were attractive, I wanted to come and say hi. Even though I feel like saying that, I won't say that, because I'm going to violate the social construct, right? She's with another guy. I don't know if that's her boyfriend. I don't know if that's her husband. I don't want to violate. So I will say something else. I might ask them for directions. Or I might say, hey, you guys seem cool. I want to come and say hi real quick. Or I might say, hey, I wanted to get y'all's opinion on something. I just saw this, blah, 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 and I wanted to see what y'all think of it, right? Because you got to check the vibe. You got to check the situation, but you are leading, right? You want to lead the conversation. You don't want to leave it up to her. You want to go and say what you want to say and be how you want to be the character you want to be, and enjoy the interaction, right? So leading, let's talk about leading. When you're talking to a woman, you want to see yourself as I talk about, man, see yourself as the masculine energy. See yourself as the creator of the interaction. See yourself as the one that's making the interaction happen, and see the woman as she is basically, she's bringing her flavor and her personality to what you've created. So you've created a vibe, you've created a interaction, you've created a situation, and now she's bringing her feminine energy to the situation. And now imagine you're like this is your masculine energy, and she's testing you out. She's right here. And then if she really likes what you're saying, now she's going into your energy, right? And now you guide it. You guide the energy. So you guide her feminine energy. You control the conversation, and you lead her into the direction you want. So I advise you to just talk about your life, because essentially, if you're talking to a woman and you find her attractive, what's going on here is you're basically seeing, are we complementary in this life? In this lifetime? Like, if we get together, interact together, does life get better? And so that's why you want to talk about your life. That's why you want to talk about your passion, your interests, whatever. And then if she's vibing with what you're saying, now you can start asking her about her stuff, because clearly she's into the vibe, she's into the interaction, she likes talking to you. So now she'll be open to telling you about herself. Here's where guys mess up. They go into the interaction and they start asking the girl a ton of questions before before they even give the girl time to see if she actually likes your communication and likes what you have to say and likes your energy and stuff like that. You're already drilling her with questions. She's gonna get uncomfortable and probably just say, oh, okay, this is just one of these guys that's trying to pick me up or whatever, or one of these guys that has no social intelligence. You know what I mean? Like you wanna like have some understanding, like, okay, I need to demonstrate my value, right? So she sees the type of guy I am, because she only thing she has to judge you off of in the beginning is how you look. How you look and how you carry yourself. And so you wanna communicate as attractive as you can and create the picture, or create the show her the movie that you've created in your life, and whether she wants to play a role in that movie, right? You have to communicate that in a short period of time. This is a woman you see in a grocery store. You don't have an hour to talk to her. You have about 5-10 minutes before she got to continue getting her groceries, or wherever you are. You know what I mean? Like the girl's probably doing something, so you have a short period of time. So you got to just, a lot of it, to be honest with you, is you just want to create good vibes. The best way to put that is positive emotions. You want to talk about your life with passion, with love, with peace, all these good emotions that people want to feel, because it's all about the vibes and the feeling, man. Like if you talk about your business but it sounds boring, even if you're making millions of dollars, if the shit sounds boring, the shit is boring, right? She's not gonna be into that. But if you talk about your business with passion, you're like, yeah, we just hired a couple more employees to the business, and man, it's starting to grow so much. I'm enjoying this process of building this business. I've started it from scratch. I had my business partner. We started this business together. Like, you talk about it, and you're drawing her in, but you got to get in that flow, and you got to be detached from the outcome. You can't be like trying to seek her validation, like saying shit to make her like you. You're just saying whatever what's actually happening in your life. You're not trying to get no one to like you or get no. You just want to see, hey, are we compatible or not? I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to tell you some shit that ain't true. I'm not trying to, be sneaky or any of that shit. I'm just going to express myself authentically and see if we're a good match. And I'm going to lead the interaction, right? Okay, and then when you're talking to her or whatever, you feel out the energy. If it feels good, it feels good. And feel like, is there any sexuality in the air? Right? Like, are you getting turned on while you're talking to her? Right? Because if you're feeling that, that's good. But if it feels platonic, you got to add some sexuality to the conversation. So maybe out of nowhere, you might say, by the way, you got a cute smile. And then she smiles, and then you keep it going. But yeah, so basically that business deal that you just go back into your thing. Don't leave it there, because it's going to bring up tension. When you compliment her, or you try to add some sexuality or whatever to the conversation, is going to create tension, right? But you want to create a little tension, but then you want to get back into the flow. You don't want to keep it there, because that's when it can get awkward, right? So essentially, if you want to get good at cold approach, meaning being able to walk up to women and have a great conversation and connect and get their numbers and go on dates and shit like that, you got to talk to a decent amount of women, man, because you have to be able to pick up on the energy of the conversation. You got to be able to pick up on subtleties. You got to be able, like, that's why it's like, I'm not really giving you like, oh, this is what you say or this is what you do, because it doesn't work like that, okay? You just want to have some core qualities that are attractive, and then you express yourself authentically, right? So you want to be masculine in your energy. Like, you want to be assertive. You want to be, and not like, it's not serious, man. Like, being masculine and assertive doesn't mean you're like super serious. It just means that you are taking responsibility for the conversation, right? You're not passive. You're not like hoping that the shit's gonna work. You're giving your best effort as far as communicating and leading, right? But as I said, the key thing is you got to be detached from the outcome. You got to be okay with yes, and you got to be okay with no. That's like a key thing here, because if you're only trying to get yes, you're gonna come off as needy. You're gonna come off as lacking. You're gonna come off as insecure, because you can't take a no. That means you must be in some scarcity, right? Because a man in abundance who's getting women left and right, if a girl rejects him, his frame, his mentality is like, bro, this girl is what a loss. You know what I mean? She just said no to a king. And that's how you gotta feel, versus she says no and you feel like, oh man, I'm not worthy. I have no self-worth. I'm ugly, or I'm stupid, or I have no charisma, or what. That's a whole different frame. You gotta start seeing yourself as a king. Now, how you get to that place, you gotta start, stepping up in life. Like, you gotta start taking action and doing things that are gonna make you feel like a king, right? And to me, it's just you stepping up and being the best version of yourself. So whatever areas you're slacking in your life, stop slacking. Because I'm telling you, your dating life is a reflection of your character, of your inner game. Like, if you feel confident, if you feel like if you have your self-worth up there, if you feel whole, you're feeling love, you feel peace, you feel gratitude, you feel these great emotions, you will reflect this energy and people will want to be around you, right? Like, you'll actually have to, like, if you really work on yourself and also go out and talk to women, because you want to get familiar with feminine energy and how to deal with women. So you got to do both. You got to work on yourself, but you also want to put yourself out there and talk to women. Don't be one of those guys that says, yeah, I'm working on myself, but is closing off any communication with women, because the real truth of the matter is you're afraid of rejection. No, a man should be able to handle rejection. A man should be able to take rejection and keep it moving, right? I'm telling you right now, every single day I get rejected. I hear the word no every single day, but it's not a big deal to me because I handle it every single day, right? I'm not running away from it. I go towards it, but it strengthens your character, right? If you could walk up to a woman and you could look her in the eye and she could see in your eyes that you're not afraid of her, meaning you're not afraid of yes or no, you're just here to communicate and express yourself and get to know her, and coming from a place of I'm already whole, I already love my life, I'm already happy, I'm already grateful, I just want to see if we connect. That's a whole different vibe, man. So anyway, that's the advice for the video. If you're a man watching this and you want to develop unbreakable self-confidence and you want to eliminate your fear of approaching women, join the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. I'll leave a link to the group in the comment section, and I'll see you inside. Peace.